I think I'm gonna have to... God, how do I phrase this properly? I'm gonna stop playing the character I usually play on the show, which is still me. It's just goofy having a good time me. But it's still gonna be that. I want to drop the showmanship. How about that? How about that? I want to drop the showmanship of it all. I don't usually do this. I don't usually do this on purpose because I don't want this to establish a pattern. You know, I don't want this to become a thing where people just do this just to get a rise out of me just to see if I'll do this. I don't want to establish that sort of precedent. But sometimes you ask for it. And I'm willing to save you from yourself if you're just asking. Sometimes you demand it. And that cannot go unanswered. I will not be made to look a fool of in my own comment section. It's not going to happen. I have ultimate power over this channel and everything therein. And I could choose to run and hide, delete comments and all that shit. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to get this kind of interaction. I am here to be responded to. And I was responded to multiple times by somebody. And originally this is kind of the way I wanted to do the responding to comments from the Shaun video. I wanted to do it exactly like this. I didn't. I beat around the bush. Perhaps that was wrong of me, but I also didn't want you to see that you got a rise out of me. Because you didn't really. It's just, you're so basic. You're also basic. I'm going to try and be as not insulting as possible. This is also going to be a rare thing. I'm not going to try and cuss a lot. I'm not going to use a lot of innuendo and hyperbolic speech. I'm going to, like I said, I'm dropping the showmanship, right? So, you're also basic. And I don't mean that as just an insult. I mean that as a literal thing. You're so basic. Your thought processes are so basic. So basic. I made that Shaun video utterly flippant. I wanted to do this video in response to Shaun's video about me talking about Shaun, but that's not going to happen because Shaun's smarter than you. Shaun knows that he'd lose this debate, right? So he doesn't push it. He didn't even ask for it. He already asked for it once. Yeah, he doesn't want to get it again. He's had it. He's enough. So, you guys, you think you can hang. You can't. Sometimes you got to get smacked down. Again, I'm not being insulting. I'm telling you facts. So let's just begin. I'm treading in bad waters here. All right. Again, another fantastically lazy. Now this was the first comment that I saw. This is in response to the second video, the one where I was really just trolling Shaun by taking his point of view, twisting it out of context, making it ridiculous, and going, duh. It was a stupid video for the purpose of being stupid. That was where the humor lied, right? You guys basic. You take everything so seriously. And I figured Shaun would too. You did. You'll do. We'll pretend it's Shaun. Why the fuck not? Drive him crazy. Fantastically lazy. That was a half-an-hour video. I don't know how you define lazy. But like 3 hours of my day, start to finish, and that's like work time. That's not including like rendering and shit like that. This is 3 hours of my day to do a half-an-hour video. And this is the second one. Like, this is the second video you watched. Unedited! Man, every time it cuts from Shaun's video to mine, that's called an edit. It took me like an hour to edit that together. And that's not even counting the time it took me to cut it up in the first place so that I would know where to stop in the video to make comments. Unedited. Just because you're not smart enough to realize that every time it cuts from my video to his, that's an edit, doesn't make the video unedited. Whatever. Unreliable. Yeah. I don't think I've ever told anybody that they can absolutely rely on my opinion, except in cases where I kind of figure they can absolutely rely on my opinion. Like, maybe you shouldn't commit crimes. I think they can absolutely rely on that opinion. It's a good one, you know, just saying. But whatever. For the most part, I want you to question shit yourselves. So I don't tell you that I'm telling you the absolute God's honest truth. Make fun of people for doing that shit all the time. Whatever. And a narcissistic video. Man, the channel's called the Egocast. And Egocast, by definition, is a podcast. Any podcast can call themselves an Egocast. You can call any podcast an Egocast. The Joe Rogan podcast could just as easily have been the Joe Rogan Egocast. Right? But I am fucking the Egocast. It doesn't get more egotistical than that. So if you think throwing narcissistic is gonna get me, it's the funniest part of every time you guys do this. Whatever. Alright, we're just getting started. How can you possibly think you owned Shaun when you have no argument? I don't think I owned Shaun. Never said I owned Shaun. I'm not an ownage channel. As far as I can recall, this would be my second. Sorry, it was a comment out of period. You have no argument. Well, I'll throw the argument thing into it. You have no argument and no sources to back those arguments. You're right. This was not a video where I was making a valid argument. I mean, I get it. You didn't get that. Whatever. So you didn't get that I wasn't fucking around here. That's fine. I accept that. I knew this was going to happen. When I made the April Fool's video that I made, where I took the Undoomed video where he was talking about people that were trying to promote being stupid, it was a great thing to be stupid, and I was refuting Undoomed's claims that being stupid on purpose is fucking beyond stupid, right? That was his whole point. And I was saying that the person who liked stupid had a very valid argument. A couple people, by April 4th, a couple people didn't get it. I forgot to put that it was an April Fool's joke in the title or anywhere. So yeah, probably got a couple people that think I'm a raging fucking idiot from there. Whatever. It's fine. I accept that. Sometimes people don't get it. That's fine. All he did was take something he said way out of context and then act like mass deportation would work for anybody. It doesn't work. Economists and social scientists have said this for decades. I've said it. I've said it on the channel multiple times. I don't think it would work. I don't think we just deport everybody. Some of these people are very established people. No need to upset the balance that badly. There are ways around it. But somebody needs to do something. That's always been my opinion. Fucking figure it out. What is it going to be? Make it a fucking law. And then from that point on, We abide by the law as it stands. No more of this sanctuary city shit. No more of this, I don't care that you're a criminal. It's annoying to me. It's exactly what I did. I took what he said out of context and I twisted it. Kind of go, see, dummy, anybody can do this. Right? But you didn't see that. You saw he's racist. You didn't get it. That's fine. I'm not sure what you think you are doing, but just a friendly tip. If you want to convince anyone of anything, you need sources and you need an argument. You have neither. Exactly. Because I wasn't trying to convince people that we should deport everybody, because I don't think that's a good idea. But I was making the point that you could use Shaun's argument to say that. Also, you ended the video saying, don't be an asshole, and stated that if Shaun made a video about you, it would be all insults. No. I believe I stated that it would include insults. I was ready for Shaun to insult me. I didn't say that it would be all insults. Actually, no, I did, because I said that would be all he'd have. He would have nothing to actually refute my argument, so I said, yeah, it would be all insults. Fucking A, you got a point there. I didn't say it would be all arguments. And you know what? The statement still stands. He would have no good arguments against anything I said. He would have to resort to nothing but insults. Let's see how well you do, stand-in Shaun. Despite there being very few insults in Shaun's video, you might think that calling roaming millennial somebody who's a racist but type of person, you might not think that's insulting, but I think roaming would think that's insulting. So you're a poor judge of what's an insult in Shaun's videos because you don't think that he's being insulting when he insults people. But he is. Yeah, in this same video you called Shaun stupid numerous times. Yes, I did. Because his argument was stupid. And he was making it as if it was you're stupid for not believing it. Like you do. And I think that he's stupid for doing that. Just saying. You can call me stupid back. I don't care. My reply was, LOL. So you didn't get it. That's fine. See? I answered it perfectly. He didn't get the video. Well, that's fine. I don't know what to tell you. Fucking what else am I to say? You didn't get it. Moving on. His reply to you didn't get it was, is that seriously your best reply? I'm not sure what I expected given the lack of effort in the video, but this is just pathetic at this point. It took a lot of effort to make that video. I had to think about it all night. I had to laugh about how hysterical it was all night, come up with great jokes, and hope that I would remember them. I had to pound them into my brain so that I would make those great jokes. It took a lot of effort to make that video. Sorry you didn't notice it, but you don't notice a whole lot, so that's fine. Honest question. Do you seriously think your videos have any weight against what you're responding to, considering you have no sources or research of your own? And I said fucking no! LOL! That's what you don't get. My video has the exact same amount of weight that Shaun's does. Look, clearly you chose this one video of mine to watch, and that's cool. Do what you want. Don't sit there and tell me how shitty my lack of effort is when you clearly did nothing to figure out exactly who it is you're dealing with here. The way I phrase things sometimes when I'm typing, I don't know. I like to think that I type the way that I talk, but I don't talk like exactly who it is you're dealing with here. And I don't even know if that, I think it was just me fucking whatever. I'm an asshole. I don't give a shit. I think it's stupid, the whole thing. So now, I don't do a huge amount of reading up and research, because I don't have to, because you're all basic. I can logic my way through Shaun's horse shit. Can't even say horse shit, but I can logic my way through it like a motherfucker. Shame you can't. And that was me, for the first time, being slightly insulting. His response to that was, and here's where it gets good, folks, but you can't logic your way through it. You made several very serious errors in your analysis. You're using logic as an excuse to not have to do any research. The fact that you compare a 5 to 10 year extra jail sentence to how your sister didn't get the same treatment as you shows how little compassion you have. Damn right. I have no compassion for criminals. You did the crime, you do the time. And some judges are harsh. And they don't give a fuck. And they will sentence anybody to the maximum just to prove a point. That's why I don't commit crimes. And no, I don't have compassion for people that are criminals. Sorry. You lost your right to my compassion when you became a criminal. Whatever. How about I throw you in jail for 10 extra years for no reason? Now, are you saying that you're throwing me in jail for 10 years for no reason? Because that would be unjust. If I have committed no crime, that is an injustice. That is you oppressing me. If you throw me in jail for 10 years for no reason. However, if I committed a crime and you throw me in jail for the maximum sentence, the reason is the crime I committed. So what are you trying to say here? Very sneaky, but not really. If you were in jail for that amount extra, you would know that it is unjust. And I'm sorry, but no. If I committed the crime, I did it with the full knowledge that there was a possibility I could be caught. And if caught, this crime could get me any amount of jail time. And I don't want any jail time. That's why I don't commit crimes. But if you threw me in jail for 10 years for no reason, yes, that would be unjust. But if you threw me in jail for 10 years extra, in your opinion, so asinine. But that is all actually irrelevant. It turns out that if you Google unjust, you get this definition. Not based on or behaving according to what is morally right and fair. You see that? It says fair. Literally, if I Google the word you based your argument on, I can dismantle it entirely. And I gotta be honest, folks. I gotta be honest. Fuck me in the ass if it isn't there. Dictionary.com. Unjust. Unjust. Adjective. Not just. Lacking in justice or fairness. Now, or. Very important there. Your definition said and. My definition says or. Right? So whose definition is right? Well, I guess it would come down to context. Context. Now, the parts of a written or spoken statement that precede or follow a specific word or passage, usually influencing its meaning or effect. And it's funny and convenient. You have misinterpreted my remark because you took it out of context. Now, the context to which I meant fair and just was I had separated them. Justice, in every case that I meant, was pertaining to the law. Quite possibly because we were discussing legalities and sentencing therein. But that's context. Don't want that. And I was referring to fairness as the perceived equality of events. Something happened to me, something happened to somebody else in response, that was equal to my whatever, and therefore, this situation is fair. right? She broke my toy. I broke her toy. Fuck us both. We both don't have a toy now. It's fair. Right? He gets a toy. I get a toy. We both have toys. It's fair. Right? Notice I'm using childlike references. So the context therein was fair and just were separate. I wasn't talking about fairness and justice because there is no such thing as fairness and justice. It just doesn't really exist. If somebody murders somebody else and they get caught, they get prosecuted, they get sentenced, they serve their time. That is our justice. That is what we consider justice. But that person is still dead. That family is still without them. The lives that might have been impacted by that person no longer will be impacted by that person. The change that person might have invoked won't happen. The whole of human history could have been changed because of that one event. Is that fair? Because he goes to jail for life, that person's still gone. We have justice. But that's not fair. Somebody steals your car, but they get caught. You get your car back. Same condition. You might maybe you're missing a couple of bucks gas. Right? Nothing bad had happened. Right? Drove by a cruiser as the APB went out. Got it. You get your car back. No harm, no foul, right? That'd be fair. Except the thief goes to jail. Is that fair? No. But it's just. Context. It's very important. Because without it, you look like an ass. I said I would try. I said I would try. I didn't say I would fucking succeed. Life ain't fair. But even that's not relevant. As it turns out that even if I use your twisted and incorrect definition of unjust, your argument is still not correct. There are still laws in place today that were designed to hurt African Americans. Very important. That word. Words. African Americans. I actually went to the link. FEE. Foundation for Economic Education. And I read the entire article. The Racist Roots of Marijuana Prohibition. Right? And as you can see there, the war on marijuana was a product of America's growing prejudice towards the influx of Mexican immigrants after the Mexican Revolution. Yeah, it's all about Mexicans. It actually only references, I'm assuming, African Americans here, where in kind of the flavor text, because this isn't even excerpts from the article. This is just a thing that they put a whole bunch of things. There's a bunch of just quotes thrown into it in little boxes. So here is the only place where it mentions African Americans, but again, I don't really know because they don't refer to them as African Americans, and I don't use that kind of language. There are 100,000 total marijuana smokers in the U.S., and most are Negroes, Hispanics, Filipinos, and entertainers. Their satanic music, jazz, and swing result from marijuana use. This marijuana causes white women to seek sexual relations with the Negroes, entertainers, and any others. And you can tell by the music I have playing in the background that this was clearly like quotes from fucking Reefermania, man. Come the fuck on. Reefer makes darkies think they're as good as white men. Are you fucking kidding me? You sourced this to me. Are you fucking kidding me? Racist laws against African Americans, he says, and he sources me a pot should be fucking legal because we're gonna say it's racist now. Are you fucking shitting me? This is almost as bad when I was told that Democrats are doing great things for America, and the reference was the Democratic fucking national platform. Almost this pisses me off that much. That you would have the fucking balls to think I wouldn't read it. Please learn to do some minor research and refrain from logic for some time. You see, I don't need to do the research. You guys are basic. The next comment that I saw was on the first video, and it said simply, citation needed. Quite possibly one of the dumbest videos I've ever seen. Quite entertaining, keep it up. And I thought that was funny, so I laughed. So you got this one. What the fuck? Right? And he says it's entertaining. That's what I'm going for, so nailed it. Right? Got him. So now you're too lazy to even read the study that was cited. Seriously? You didn't read me the study. This is quotes now. This is me talking. You didn't read me the study, so I don't know if he's right or wrong. Why don't you go read the study yourself? Are you unable to read? It would appear so. Again, point in my favor. I'm reading this. Don't worry, I'll do you a solid and I'll read it for you. Thank Christ he's going to read it for me. A. The study talks about both similar and same crimes and finds significant disparities in both terms of race. I don't give a shit. They're criminals. They committed crimes. I don't give a fuck how long they get sentenced. As long as it is reasonable within the law. And just because somebody got sentenced for the max sentence and somebody didn't, it doesn't make it unreasonable under the law. You still haven't shown me an unreasonable under the law case, which was something that I mentioned that I would like to see. But whatever. There was, after all, the Mexican Revolution. Why don't you send me a fucking Mexican immigrant story? B! Don't you think the people who did the study would consider robbery versus aggravated robbery? Yes, I actually did. I just kind of threw that out there to fuck with Shaun. Glad you took the bait. This is a federal study talking about 7 years worth of data. And you think they would ignore that? How vacuous can you get? I can get pretty fucking vacuous when I want to. If you read the study crazy enough, their definition of similar has little to do with the crime and more to do with details of the actual crime itself. Similarly situated is the term they use. Again, you're not paying attention to the crime. You're acting as if because they committed a crime, they should just get a shorter sentence or get a same short sentences. Please, learn to read. There are already enough people spreading misinformation on the internet. Don't I know it? The rest of your video had such little substance, I'm not even sure how to respond, so I won't. I knew how to respond to that. I simply said you're wrong with a big smiley face. I'm loving it at this point. It was so funny. Care to explain how, or are you too lazy to even do that? Well, my good man, I know what you want. You want my citation. As you can see here, I am looking at the book of report. One specific page. And that specific page, in the left-hand column, about midway down, you can see where it says, what the commission found. You see, you're all so basic. You're so stuck on the racism. It's so bad because it's so racist. Ow, it's so racist. It's racism. It's right. That's all you see. because you're basic. But I looked at what the commission actually found. I didn't look at the raw data and extrapolate my own thoughts and apply my racist leanings to it. I didn't do that. I looked, conveniently enough, to Part A. I believe this is like page 6. What the commission found. And it's very interesting. If you look in the right-hand column, I believe it is the second full paragraph in the right-hand column. It states, the Commission also found that demographic characteristics are now more strongly correlated with sentencing outcomes than during previous periods. Although the Commission does not suggest that this correlation indicates race or gender discrimination on the part of judges, this troubling trend also has been replicated in multivariate analyses performed by other researchers, albeit to different magnitudes. I want to read one little part of a sentence, one more time. Although the Commission does not suggest that this correlation indicates race or gender discrimination on the part of judges, you did that. Shame on you.
you.